Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be something different. We're going to be making a pumpkin spice latte at home. I never get pumpkin spice lattes from Starbucks. I think that they're so unhealthy. They're packed with not only a ton of sugar, but so many ingredients that you probably don't even know about. I think that there is a much easier and more cost-effective way to make pumpkin spice lattes at home. That way you actually know what you're putting in your body, and it honestly tastes really good, and it's just so much better for you. And I don't really like supporting Starbucks too much. I feel like it's just a major chain that's taking over coffee businesses in general. I like to support smaller local businesses. So if you're interested in hearing tips about different ways to froth your milk, different ways to store your ingredients, and ultimately my simple recipe to make a pumpkin spice latte at home, then stick around. Okay guys, so just know for most of this video, I am going to be out of frame because I care more about you guys seeing what's in front of me rather than my face. So I'm just giving you a fair warning because I don't have anybody here to record this video for me. But basically, to start out, by the way, how relevant is my shirt? It says weekend, my dog, and coffee, which are the three things I need to make me happy, and my family and my boyfriend. But yeah, I just wanted to get into the coffee spirit for this video. So anyway, now that it's officially fall, I felt like this video was very appropriate and kind of fun. I love watching people make these types of drink videos and stuff, so I hope you guys enjoy this. But I'm going to start out by showing you what you need. I'm going to use a glass mug for the purpose of this video so you could see everything I'm doing really easily. Ideally, it would be nice to have pumpkin pie spice. I went to Mariano's to get all of these ingredients, and I didn't feel like driving all the way to Trader Joe's. That's where I would recommend getting pumpkin pie spice. Mariano's did have it. I saw the label for it, but they were out. I guess 'tis the season. So instead I got gingerbread spice because it has a lot of the same basic spices in there. Ginger, cinnamon, nutmeg. It contains allspice. And then I bought ground cloves because that's one thing that was missing in there. And it's missing cardamom, but it's basically got a lot of the same flavors in there. The proportions will just be a little bit off. So ideally, pretend this is pumpkin pie spice, or you can make your own at home. You can grind up these spices using a mortar and pestle and store them in a sealed jar, like a mason jar, so that you can keep reusing your own homemade spices. I'm going to sweeten with pure maple syrup. You can use honey, you can use turbinado sugar, whatever you like. Then I have organic pumpkin puree. And then you need to pick your milk of choice. I know it's very unpopular at this point and uncommon to use dairy milks on YouTube. I am gonna use an organic whole milk because I feel like, as of now, I have not found a non-dairy milk that thickens and froths up the way that a whole milk or a 2% or some sort of dairy milk does. But I also have, for example, coconut almond milk that's carrageenan free here at home. It's just that a lot of these nut milks that I've purchased are so water-based that it's so hard to achieve a nice foamy texture out of them. I think oat milk is another good option. If you do buy one of these watered down milks, you could try adding like a little bit of a coconut cream or something to thicken it. But I'm keeping it simple, so I'm going to use whole milk, but you can use any milk you like. Understand that the point of this recipe is to show you guys how to achieve this pumpkin spice flavor and the ingredients that you need and the proportions, but you can modify this recipe however you like, okay? So I'm going to pause real quick. I'm going to extract 2 shots of espresso with my Breville here. Alternatively, if you do not have an espresso machine, you can make a strong brew of coffee. So let's say you make like this much coffee and make it a really strong amount, because you don't want your proportions to be too off, so you don't want like this much coffee in your cup. You want a little bit so you have a lot of room for your milk and stuff. Or you could do like a strong brew of a black tea or a chai tea or something if you're not much of a coffee drinker. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna make my espresso shots right now. Okay guys, so I just made my 2 shots of espresso using my machine. Again, you can make a strong brew of coffee if you don't have a way of making espresso at home. You could use tea like I mentioned, but now I'm essentially just going to show you guys what you need to mix together to achieve this pumpkin spice flavor. So I'm going to take a tablespoon of this organic pumpkin puree. I already made this recipe once today, so that's why my can is empty. A tip for storing your pumpkin puree, I did look it up. and you can store it in the fridge in a sealed container for about 5 to 7 days, because you're obviously not going to use an entire can for one latte. I'm just showing you guys a single serving, okay? So all I'm doing is I'm using my spoon to stir that together with the espresso. If you want to be fancy, you can use a whisk or a fork. I'm just using a spoon, it works perfectly well. So I stirred up a spoonful into my espresso. Next I'm going to take, again, we're going to call this pumpkin pie spice because that's what I would ideally be using, and I'm going to tell you guys, I eyeball everything, but for measurement purposes I would say about a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, and again you can alter the amount of pumpkin puree or the amount of pumpkin pie spice to your liking. And I'm going to mix that up. Next, I'm going to measure out, oh, I'm so sorry, in the beginning of this video I forgot to mention that we're going to be using vanilla extract as well. So next I'm going to measure out, I'm going to eyeball this as well, but we'll say about a teaspoon of vanilla extract. You can also use almond extract. I'm going to put that back, and I'm going to add my maple syrup. If you're coming here as someone who is like a Starbucks drinker, you're probably accustomed to having pretty sweet drinks. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to say start out, if you're used to very sweet drinks, with maybe 2 tablespoons of maple syrup or your sweetener of choice, and modify it from there. If you're someone that's used to less sweet drinks, then I would say start with 1 tablespoon. But you can always add more later. Modifying the level of sweetness is easy. The point again is the proportions of everything else. So far we've combined vanilla extract, pumpkin puree, and pumpkin pie spice with our espresso or coffee or tea, whatever you're using. Now, this next part is about frothing your milk. I'm going to tell you guys a few ways that you can froth milk, and I'm ultimately going to use the steam wand on my espresso machine, but you can absolutely do this and make this without a steam wand. One way is a handheld battery operated frother like this. This one's from Target. It was probably about $10 to $12, but you can also buy these on Amazon. They're really easy to use. You just turn them on once they're in the milk. And you want to warm your milk up first, not boil, just warm. So pour almond milk, coconut milk, whatever milk into a pot, warm it up on the stove, and then once it's warm, stick this in there, turn it on, and froth it up probably for a minute or two until it's as foamy as you like. But know that that's not going to hold the same level of foaminess as like a steam wand. But again, you're making this at home, and ultimately it's still going to taste really good. Another option is to take your milk of choice, warm it up, and then put it into like a mason jar and seal it real good and shake it up for about 2 minutes as well. And the whole point, every method that we're using is incorporating air into the milk so it gets foamy and thick. So whether you're using this handheld frother, the mason jar, or you can also pour your milk into a blender. You want to be careful not to pour too hot of a liquid into your blender because I think the pressure can cause the lid to pop off. But you can also pour your milk into a blender. Again, turn the blender on for 1 to 2 minutes until it's frothy how you like it. Each of these methods is incorporating air into your milk to ultimately get it to foam up the way you want it to. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to steam my milk using my steam wand, and I'll be back in a second. Okay. Sorry, the machine is still making noise because I just finished. So here is my steamed milk. So I'm just going to pour this milk into the mixture that we have here. Everything is all stirred and incorporated. Okay, and now to make it look nice for some finishing touches, because obviously when you make a drink at home you want it to be appealing to the eye just like it would be if you got it at a coffee shop. I'm going to take the same pumpkin pie spice and I'm going to sprinkle some on top to finish it off. You could use just cinnamon, you could skip this step, you could also put whipped cream on top of your drink, but I forgot to buy whipped cream. You can use almond milk whipped cream, coconut milk whipped cream, whatever you like. And that's really it. The only reason I'm not going to taste this in front of you guys is because I already drank one of these today when I made it earlier. I know that it tastes good. I made the exact same recipe before, and I don't want too much caffeine, and I honestly want to preserve this so I can get a nice photo for the video. but I know it tastes really good. You can modify this recipe however you like. You could put more or less of whatever ingredients you like. The whole idea was to show you what ingredients I'm using and give you an idea of the proportions, and you can modify it from there. Again, you can use any milk you want. You can froth your milk various different ways, and you could probably make this iced if you want to, but it's fall, so I feel like you shouldn't do that because why would you? But that's really it, guys. If you want to see any videos from me in the future, let me know. I can show you how to use a Breville espresso machine if you would like to see that. I can show you how to make a matcha latte. I can show you all kinds of things. I really love doing these types of videos. I will put all of the ingredients down below. I will put the recipe down below. I will even link, I forgot to mention, there's like an electric frother on Amazon that you can use as well. I think it costs about $45. You plug it into the wall, into an outlet, and you pour your milk of choice in there, and I think you turn it on for like a minute or two, and it heats your milk and froths it at the same time. So I'm gonna link that below. I'll link the handheld frother below. And yeah, check the description box for more information. But thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. If you did make it, let me know how you liked it. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching.